What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Black Ramen Podcast. I, myself, Chatty Patty, is here to present to you a special episode. We did a collab with this episode, VOE Podcast. Shout out to Kevin. We actually had the lovely opportunity to go into Roc-N-Ramen in the Bronx, a Black-owned, Asian, West Indian infused restaurant. It had amazing delicacies. We were able to talk to the amazing Corey, who owns this beautiful establishment. And we want to put you guys on. So stay tuned. You won't be disappointed. And you're going to get hungry watching this episode. If you are watching or listening, you're going to get hungry. So we'll have the address plastered all over this episode if you're watching. And if not, it'll be in the description while you're listening to it on Apple, Spotify, all major podcast platforms. Do not do yourself a disservice and not check this restaurant out. It's in the Bronx. Roc-N-Ramen. Enjoy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into a collab with Black Ramen and
VOE Podcast in the building.
And we have a very, very special presentation for you guys. We are now officially here at Roc-N-Ramen.
Welcome.
And we have with us the beautiful,
lovely
KORISZAN REESEE. I'm the owner of Roc-N-Ramen. So welcome, guys.
I was obsessed. Actually, I went to the Roc-N-Ramen in New Rochelle.
New Rochelle, yep.
And the owner there said that he was going to have one in the Bronx. And I said, oh, no. Like, when? But then the pandemic happened, and then I didn't know when you guys were going to open up.
Yeah.
So I kept on looking, and then when I saw you had an IG, I went crazy. I said, oh, nah.
You were like, they're here.
She went nutty. Then she hit me. It was like, yo, oxtail ramen. I'm like, what?
It was and the way I found them, I constantly checked because I was like, okay, they're gonna have to eventually open.
Right.
But then it was the greediness in me because I really want, because that's what
do you live in the Bronx or?
Yes.
Oh, so it makes sense.
161, y'all. 161.
Okay.
Yes, baby.
Yep.
So, and then it's Black owned, so that's what made us definitely want to stay on point and trying to make sure that, hey, you guys are here. We need to know you guys are here.
Thank you.
So we wanted to bring our listeners in to see, like right here, full on.
How it really goes down.
Yeah. Well, so, welcome. Like, I'm really glad you like the food. Of course, you're from New Rochelle, and I'm glad that you're here. Like, I was born and raised in the Bronx, so it only made sense to have something in the Bronx. I feel like anytime you go someplace, like it's, Manhattan or Brooklyn, but we don't have anything for ourselves a lot of the time. So, because initially I was thinking Harlem or Brooklyn, but I was like, nah,
get too much
I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah,
so we're going to do it right here. And then Little Italy just made sense, too, because it's pasta and noodles.
Right.
And we're noodles, but we're ramen. So it made sense.
It is.
What made you get started into the restaurant business?
It was an accident. Just like you. You know how you just said you went to Roc-N-Ramen in New Rochelle and you love the food?
Yes.
That's how it went down. Ooh. My partner, he's like, there's this really cool ramen spot, because my knowledge of ramen, and forgive me, like, for all the true ramen heads, I was oodles and noodles. And
oh, no, that's good.
But I would, like, hook it up, Yeah. Like,
top ramen, all that.
Right, exactly. Because in college, that was, like, the struggle meal, but it was good,
That
was
the lifesaver.
So that was me. So he was like, you got to go to this ramen spot. And I was just like, I got ramen in the house. He's like, no, you got to go. So we went to New Rochelle, and I've never heard of, like, oxtail ramen or curry chicken ramen. So I was there and I was like, this food is delicious. And the owner at the time was there. And I said to him, I was like, have you guys ever thought about franchising? He's like, we're doing it now. I was like, let me get your card.
Oh.
So that's how it happened, because I was looking to invest in something.
Really?
I didn't really think it through, and I just said, how hard could it be? And I was just like, I just felt like they had something. This is a niche that hasn't been touched.
Right.
So, and then Roc-N-Ramen Bronx was born. So it's actually a franchise. Anybody could really be a Roc-N-Ramen owner.
Right.
Right. But I'm just the first and only one right now.
Yo, that's crazy.
Amazing.
So you going to Roc-N-Ramen was your formal introduction to, like, ramen outside of Top Ramen and Oodles and Noodles. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Yo, you see how destiny shapes itself?
Yeah. That's why I said it was an accident. I had, like I said, I was looking to invest in something, and I was there, and I just thought the food was so good, and I said, this could really blow up,
Oh, that's so inspirational.
Yeah.
The fact that you just sat there and said, I'm going to invest in this, and you did it.
Yeah.
That's That's very encouraging.
And then it was like, boom, pandemic. I was like, wait, what?
Damn,
yeah, just like that.
So right when you invested.
So right, yeah, because so it was before the pandemic, but once you like when you're opening a business, you obviously have to do your research. You obviously have to get your funding. You obviously have to have your business plan. So while these things were going on, everything was normal. When it was time for me to open and build out the space, it was like the pandemic. So we opened right in the midst of the pandemic.
Yes.
So that was really scary. And at the time, it was only takeout and delivery. You couldn't dine in. So we opened right in the middle of that.
Right.
So that I didn't anticipate for that, but you got to push through. And
were you nervous?
Yes. I was mortified because the restaurant business in the pandemic was one of the hardest hit.
Yes.
So it's just like, you know, when you're starting a restaurant, even in the best of times, it could be hard. When you're starting a restaurant, you're opening it right in the middle of a pandemic where people can't even come and patronize your business. It's mortifying.
Yeah.
But Roc-N-Ramen is a great brand. On our first day, it was pandemonium. Everybody was ordering. We were on the news, and I was not prepared. So even though no one could eat here, everybody was ordering takeout. Everybody was ordering. So it was like, it was a good feeling. They welcomed us. So even though it was the middle of the pandemic, we were able to thrive.
Right.
Still, you know.
That's crazy. So even though you was facing like the struggle of opening a new restaurant during the pandemic, somehow on your first day it was still fire.
Right.
Like everybody was feeling to get it.
Right, and I think that to me that's the testament of the brand. People knew it because I didn't really do much marketing. People knew the brand. I did have a couple of interviews like with New York One, so it was on the local news, and we were also in the paper in the New York Post. So people just heard about it and they came and they supported. So it was good. So it made the fear a little bit less.
It eased the tension.
It eased it, right, but it was still like scary, you know, because owning a restaurant is it's one of the hardest businesses you'll ever do.
Yes.
And like I said, the pandemic, you know, compounded upon the pandemic is even harder. So
I
that's
have to
how
say
I
that
got.
I really find it very inspirational. You being a black woman and
Yeah,
doing
thank
the
you.
investment and managing this amazing restaurant. So that I have to commend you for that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And you look good while doing it.
Oh, thank you.
You make it look easy. I'm not gonna hold you. You make it look easy.
Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. Because I got stories for y'all. So that's all I gotta say.
We here for it all day, you heard?
Let me just say this. If this store was like a reality show, it would be off the charts.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I mean? Like, just the things that happen in the background, behind the scenes, the people, it would be crazy.
But so what's like one of the craziest things that happened to you, like behind the scenes, or something that you had to deal with?
What we talking about? Love and Hip Hop, Black Ink? What we talking about? What?
Yeah. It's,
Real Housewives?
It's kind of like that. Like, I'm not going to say any names or anything, but I had one girl, a great girl, an amazing girl, and she was working, and I know she had to, matter of fact, maybe I shouldn't say that one, because I don't want to
All right, that's another tea for another day.
Yeah, that's
really?
I'm going to leave that alone, but just put it this way. She, after hours, she had a little bit too to drink, and she professed her love to me, and she wanted me to, like, have her as my partner, and I was just like...
I mean, that's understandable.
That's amazing.
You a baddie, I'm sorry. That's understandable.
You know, but then when I told her the next day, like, you can't really be... Like, she wasn't working at the time, so it was fine, but I was just like, no. And then she was just like, all right, I quit. I was like, all right.
Oh my God.
She was like, all right, beat it then.
No,
I was like,
I was not expecting that.
I mean, but how you come back from that?
Ain't
Like,
nothing
you can't
that
really
I
just
would
come
love
back from that.
to-
You know,
confess?
yeah,
to your
that.
loss?
What do they say? Like the liquor is like, she could have stayed too. That's what they say.
Give you the
You know what I
confidence.
mean? So
I mean, hey.
it was okay, but I was just letting her know, like, you know, this is the work environment, certain things, and then
She had to take that L.
yeah, it was funny
It's
though.
a reminder.
I was just like, okay, maybe I'm cute, you know.
But you know what? What I wanted to ask you, when you was in New Rochelle, did they already merge the Jamaican with the Asian fusion?
Yes. So I know that's one of the things we want to talk about. Like, I can't take credit for that. The original owner, Wayne, he used to be the he's the founder. Yeah, he's the founder. He's no longer with us anymore, but he's the founder of the Roc-N-Ramen brand, and that was his concept.
Yes.
So like, buying a franchise and owning your own store, that's the whole point. You buy into the blueprint. So I didn't have to do anything. All I did was expound upon what was already there when we created new dishes and things like that. But that was already his idea, and it was genius.
Right.
So
you just put your spin on it. It's like a popular record that got a remix. And you jump on it.
When I went to New Rochelle, I started following them immediately on Instagram, and that's when he started doing the oxtail. He even had a ramen burger.
Yeah.
He was doing curry shrimp. He was doing so
everything.
Many things. Yeah.
Everything. And then we just expanded upon that. Like, he's no longer with us, but we have new dishes like the jerk Rasta pasta. Like, Rasta pasta is like a very Caribbean thing. Right. But now it's like the ramen version of that we have. We have shrimp scampi, especially because we're in this neighborhood. Like, so we just compounded upon the things that he already did, but I can't take credit for his idea. That's all like him. He had a vision. If you ever listen to him, he'll tell his story. He went to Japan and was inspired. I think he was inspired by a movie he saw. So he found the Roc-N-Ramen, and I just was like, let me get on this too.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So how did your friends and family take on you being? You already know. Because you know what it is? It's like, it's ramen and it's infused Jamaican and then it's a restaurant. So
it's like three wham bams.
Yeah.
Right. So
and some people think of it as a niche, Right. And then it's like,
but it is though. You don't think it is?
It is a niche, but it's like there's always room for you to really branch out in this niche because now this is high in demand.
Right.
Like anime and ramen and Jamaican infused. There's so much going on with pop culture as far as like anime and
just
ramen.
Black culture in general. Just being involved in.
You know what they say, like I mean, that didn't deter me because I don't know who said it, but I always say, like, if you ever feel a doubt about your business, you want to do you're like, oh, someone already doing this. They like go into the bread aisle, like how many different brands of bread do you see? But people are still doing it. But my friends and family, overall, they were happy and supportive, but they were concerned because they were like, this is a restaurant. A restaurant is hard.
Right.
And my background is business. So I'm opening a restaurant and I had no experience. So they were like,
that's understandable. That's
but I'm an Aries too, so
me too.
See, so like
we all Aries,
like it's that risk. I'm like, I'm gonna jump and figure out the parachute later.
That's you gotta do like Jordan, take it personal.
Yeah, so I was just like, I believed in the brand. So they was very supportive, very, very, very supportive. But like I said, they were like, this is the restaurant industry. It's like one of the hardest things to do. Like I just said, I want to do a business. I could do this, I can do that, but let me take the longest, hardest, sharpest road and do it. But it's only because I believed in the brand.
Right.
So, but they were supportive. Like my friends and family, at the end of the day, like I have the friends that, you can be with a boy and they're like, girl, he's not good for you. And I'm like, I know, but I love him. And they're like, all right, we'll let her be dumb. And then they'll, we'll let her be dumb. But then once I'm like, girl, you're right, he was bad. She's like, it's not like that, I told you. So they're gonna support you regardless. You know what I mean, right? True. So they were very supportive and understanding.
Well, they just want to make sure.
Right. Yeah, they all did. Like, and it's funny because my mother passed away. I'm just gonna tell you this story because this is how I knew I was kind of on the right track. So my mother passed away in 2016, and I take a pole dancing class, and my daughter and I in the class with my instructor. And I just said to myself, this is when I was like trying to do this business and like it was hard and being seen, and you're a black woman, like funding and resources, all of that is real. It's very real. Like you have to put your own money in and then you still have to get funding from other places, you know what I mean? So I said to myself, I was like, I wonder if my mother's proud of me for what I'm doing, right? And I just left it alone. I promise you, a week later, one of my friends on Instagram was like, hey, I had a dream about you. I never remember my dreams, but it was so very vivid, and I felt like I should share. And I'm like, all right, well, what was it about? She was describing how I looked, and she said one of the things that stood out to her in the dream was my daughter was in a stroller. Now you see, my daughter's 11. Well, at the time she was younger, and when she looked in the stroller, it was a woman who was fair skinned like your complexion, high cheekbones, and she said, "Tell her I'm proud of her. Tell her I'm proud of her. Tell her." Right? And in that moment, I knew I was doing the right thing. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's a real story. I was just like,
that's amazing. Don't do
shed
me
a tear up in
right?
Damn. That's amazing,
Wow.
bro.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing. That's beautiful.
that's how I knew. So if you the support from my friends and family, I would say I have it even from beyond.
Right. Oh, that's good.
I mean, with that and how you did during the pandemic, it sounds like you did really
I mean,
good, bro.
I feel like if you can go through the pandemic, you can.
Right.
Because this was really a test of times the past 2 years.
It was all.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, when I found out that you guys opened like dead smack in the middle of the pandemic, I was praying that you guys
Stay open.
Yeah.
I understand.
Not to wish bad.
No,
you know,
I know,
just
but
like,
it's just like it's real.
You never know.
Yeah, it's real because the pandemic, like, it was almost like, I don't know if I should say like a cleansing. I feel like to some degree,
Like a world reset on
yes, exactly. So it's like survival of the fittest. Like, and when you're a small mom and pop shop like me versus like a big corporation, that's a very real concern and fear. I've had it too, but all I know to do is to keep going. So we're still here, rocking our ramen.
I love it.
Heard it in first.
I wanted to ask you too. And the one in New Rochelle.
Yep.
They're not they don't have anime based stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Which
So
I'm so excited.
Right.
Yasuke on the
We got
wall.
Yasuke.
yeah, so that's the good thing about being a franchisee. Like, I mean, you get the blueprint for the recipes and there's certain things, but I had a little bit of leeway of how I wanted things. And anime, ramen is featured in anime all the time. It only made sense. Like when you think of different animes, like Naruto is the one that comes to mind the most because he loves his tonkatsu.
Yes.
Anime and ramen are synonymous with each other.
Yes.
So I was just like, why don't we have anime playing in the background all the time? And then, you know, we always have like a good vibe and good music. And I like the mural because
It's a beautiful
we tried to incorporate Yasuke. He's anime. Well, he's a real person, but there's an anime. But it only made sense. It only made sense because when ramen is just really, really popular in Japanese culture, and we are a Japanese ramen shop with a Caribbean twist. So it only made sense. So New Rochelle needs to, you can tell them I said it. They need to step it up. I have like a little friendly competition with them all the time. So
we already know who win it.
Yeah.
Y'all
heard her say it.
Said what I said.
I
Ain't
love
no
the
typo.
ambiance.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you incorporated anime. I didn't think that you guys were going to do that. I thought it was going to be similar to the New Rochelle vibe. But then when I saw you had a follower here, like a TikToker.
Yeah.
And she posted, I said, oh, nah, you see the mural?
Yeah.
I was super excited. And then when I called you, and you said, yeah, my daughter watches anime. We have anime playing. I said, you play anime OPs here? She started naming like the animes that she was watching with her daughter.
My daughter put me on. Now I know about Hunter x Hunter, Demon Slayer, Fruit Bowls.
Oh my God!
You know, she laughing at me.
She like no.
She had me
pictures.
go take her to a movie to see Belle. I think it was. It was really, really good.
She like no pictures, please.
But my daughter is really like, she put me on to a lot. She hates when I watch anime with her. Like, I'm a little bit annoyed. I'm like, oh, why they did that? Oh, what's their character?
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah.
I do that with him all the time too when I'm watching a movie.
She's just over it. And actually, one of the managers here, her name is Lorraine. She came in here. She didn't know anything about ramen or anime. The child is so into anime now, especially Naruto. She got a Naruto book bag. She got the whole Leaf Village tattooed on her back. Yes.
Really? Wow.
So I think it really has an impact. Anime and ramen just make sense.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
most definitely. That's why we had to
They go together.
And we had to see this place, and we had to just have you. The fact that you let us come here and you have
I'm honored.
Experience the vibe.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm honored.
The
I'm
ambiance
honored.
is beautiful. The display of your drinks are amazing.
Thank you.
When you brought the punch, I was like, nah. Nah, are you serious?
Light bulb.
That is
light bulb
amazing.
thing. Yeah, we
Crazy,
try.
man.
So,
And the food,
tell
the
us, what is your
combination.
personal favorite on the menu?
Sir.
So there's so many. Do I have to just choose one? 'Cause-
Nah, you choose one.
Go crazy.
So my first favorite used to be the oxtail, hands down. It was like oxtail buns, oxtail ramen. I just
That's
love
my favorite
oxtail.
food. I ain't gonna lie.
Right, yeah, like I love. I grew up on it. I just
Too
love it.
expensive.
Oh, you didn't tell us what your nationality is.
Oh, so I'm Caribbean, Bermuda and St. Kitts, and I grew up in the Bronx in a very heavily Jamaican neighborhood. I thought
It
I
is.
was, you know, so
Sound about right.
yeah, you know,
Sound about right.
my best friend, like all my family and friends. So you know, that's what it is. I grew up on it. It was that's just what we ate in the house, and so that was my favorite in the beginning. But then I tasted the rib tip, and I said, oh,
I saw that.
that's if you eat pork.
I saw that.
I don't know
Oh,
if you
yeah,
eat pork.
we eat pork.
So
We eat
yeah. So the rib tip
Yeah.
is bomb, like the rib tip, and then.
It sounds like it fall off the bone.
Yeah, it's so good. And then the shrimp scampi became my favorite after, and I was like, you see what we doing here? Then it was just like the jerk Restuarant. Then it was like we have a pulled pork. And then I think my favorite right now is not even a ramen, so don't kill me. It's a rice bowl. It's called curry katsu.
Yeah.
Curry katsu. That's my favorite right
Super
now.
Jamaican, super Asian.
Yeah.
No,
so
but
it's
that's the thing though.
it's
I
curry
noticed
katsu,
the
yeah.
difference with curry.
Yeah.
So with Asian curries, they tend to have a more thicker texture.
Yep. That's true.
And then with West Indian curries, it's
They
a
are
little
different.
lighter
Yeah,
and a little more spicier. Me, I prefer the West Indian curry.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's our
Because it
origin.
is spicy.
Yeah,
I will say that. Like a lot of people here love the jerk chicken. I don't really like spicy food. I know, right? You like, huh? I used to, but then
Now
I
we gotta pack up.
No, you wait. Don't revoke my black card. But it is because on my Caribbean card. It's because I did that one chip challenge back in the day.
Oh, you
Oh,
bugging.
that messed you up.
You-
for life.
It messed me up.
bugging.
Every
Yeah.
time I even smell a spice, my mind go back and say,
There you go. Smell our
no man.
spice.
Yeah.
Smell our
So and the jerk chicken is like one of the most spiciest things here. So I can't. But there are people here like they'll get the jerk chicken and then put hot sauce on it and jerk, and I'd be like, wow.
Classic. That's
Yeah.
what
So
do.
Sometimes it's just gotta hit different.
yeah.
It's
So
gotta hit different.
you know those are my favorites, and the dumplings and the oxtail buns. Those are like one of my favorites. Oh, and the pork buns. They're really good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think I just named the whole menu.
yeah, it sound like you did. It sound like you did. So which one, based on the ones that you said and what you see within the restaurant, which ones do you say like people tend to order the most?
I think the tonkatsu, which is very traditional Japanese.
Yeah,
The
it is.
tonkatsu is
It
like a
is.
staple, or the shoyu is a staple. It's the same type of meat as the tonkatsu, it's just a different type of broth. Like, and the jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken.
Yeah, that's really
I was
really
looking at
popular.
that myself, like,
and then
yo,
oxtail, like, but you know, oxtail,
best food in the world.
you know,
It is, but you know, with
it's expensive.
inflation,
Like you said,
I
yeah.
know, dog.
you
Yeah.
know, like you spend $20, you just sucking on
You ain't even
bone.
got an
Like,
option
yeah.
for a small no more.
No.
Gotta be medium or large.
Yeah, it's because you know how much and you know what's the funny thing, because like oxtail is like gourmet now. But you know it was considered like slave food.
It's struggle food. It's
Yeah,
struggle,
but it's
yeah.
like now it's gourmet and it's expensive. The tail
Yes.
of the oxtail expensive.
Yes.
But
The
it's so
bone.
good.
I love it.
The bone is
It's
the best
good.
part though. But you gotta have meat before you get the
gotta
bone. I
have
feel
meat.
you. We have meat
The
in our
bone
bones.
is good because the gravy. We gotta
Right.
know it's the sauce, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't marinate your
Who got the
oxtail
sauce?
overnight,
Right.
not just overnight. My mom marinate like over the
Are
weekend.
you Jamaican?
Haitian?
Oh, you Haitian. Oh, so you know good food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know good
Oh, yeah.
food. You
That's
know
why-
flavor. You know sauce. You know okay.
You know, that's why I'm here.
Right.
You know? I
You
knew
know
it was-
spice too. That's why you was about to
Of
kick
course.
me. Leave. Right.
Of course. I was
Okay.
like, oh nah, we gotta come here. We gotta come
Yeah.
here.
So that's why. Okay.
So another
Yeah.
question. What is it that you could tell yourself 10 years from now that you've learned with this whole process?
Especially since you went through it with the pandemic
Yeah,
and
you did.
fought
What
that.
would I tell myself like 10 years?
The best advice you can give yourself
Your 10
that you
years
didn't know
past
10
self.
years that you didn't know 10 years ago that you know now.
I would say bet on yourself, because the thing about entrepreneurship is like, I don't want to say everybody want to do it because some people don't want to do it, but it seems like a real people think of entrepreneurs, you think of like, I'm my own boss, my own hours, my own money, you know, but it's hard. This, especially the restaurant industry, it's not glamorous. It's long hours. It's a lot of things happening. It's just like getting the right people on your team. It's a lot of that. But when you invest in yourself, it's worth it. That's what I'm telling myself. I mean, we only been in the game not even 2 years yet. But my daughter, bless her, she was 10 years old when she told me this. You know, y'all want to know what she told me, which is my motto, what I would tell myself. She's like, sometimes you have to be uncomfortable.
With being comfortable.
No, you have to be uncomfortable for a little while to be comfortable for the rest of your life.
Right.
Damn.
So,
at 10?
Right? That's
Okay,
what
no,
she told me. You know, that's what my daughter told me, because she's been seeing everything. She's been, it's been an emotional roller coaster. Like, some days are good and some days are like, can I curse? I'm sorry.
Of course.
Oh, because I was just like, some days is good and some days it's like, right? It's like, what the fuck did I get myself into? But I'm betting on myself. I'm investing in myself. And I think that's just, in 10 years from now, I'm going to look and I'm going to say, I'm glad I did it. Yeah, I did it, because I think it'll be worth it in the end, especially if it's something that you believe in.
Right.
And that's all I could say right now. Like, I'm betting on me. And 10 years from later, we can come back and do like an anniversary thing and see if that's what I still gotta say.
Of course, if you have us,
You have these 2 young hustlers.
You know, it's like stamped in time. You know what I mean?
That would be
So
an honor. That would be an honor. I love that.
Thank
so
you.
do you find it? Let's say this, right? I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty of the stuff.
Okay.
All right. Because you know I'm
spicy,
pro-black and everything. So it's just like I find it anytime when a black woman's doing something phenomenal and sensational, there's always barriers in front of you.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't want to see you flourish, and you gotta try 10 times harder.
Listen, when I look at when I knew some of the things we were going to talk about, I actually struggled with what I'm getting ready to tell you. I'm like, do I say it? Because I don't know if I want to put a negative light on the situation. But you just saying this, I'm like, I am going to say it. So it is a lot of road barriers, because being black in general in our community, there's not a lot of resources. I think I touched on that a little bit earlier. And sometimes your family and friends won't support you financially or things like that. And then you get to where you got to go and you're like, yes, I'm here. I made it. Like, I'm doing it. And then hate is real. Within our first year, we had a hate sign that said, "Niggers get out."
Nah.
For real.
When the hate don't work, they start telling lies.
But you know, I took it down. I said, okay, next caller, please. But you talking about obstacles? Like, people trying to, I don't know if it was to intimidate us or make us feel, but what I will say is that was just one person in the community, and we have the support of the whole community. Because once they knew, it was just like, oh my God, that's not what we subscribe to, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And they were really, really like supportive and encouraging, but it happened. And I didn't expect that to happen.
Right.
But I shouldn't be surprised considering the world that we live in. So in addition to like economic barriers, in addition to being a woman, because being a woman and dealing with men in this industry was difficult for me too. Because a lot of them thought it was going to be some quid pro quo, like, you know, I do this for you if you sleep with me. Right. But I don't subscribe to that. So I was like surprised. Like, I had a friend the other day. It's a guy, and I don't know if you think like this too, but he was like, that's fine, girl. You know, you got to use what you got to get what you want. And I'm like, what? That would be an interesting podcast, like, when women use their, like, feminine bed. I said, I let him know. I was just like, as a woman, it makes me feel completely uncomfortable. Right. You know, it's unsolicited. That's crazy. And it's like quid pro quo, like, I have to do it, like, I'm not a prostitute. Right. So those are just some of the things that we encounter, like, so the economics, the sexism, and the hate. But as black women, we always do. We survive and we thrive.
How were you always able to persevere through all that?
I had no choice. Supportive. Like, she's like, yeah, she had to tell me, like, it's like, I can't believe my daughter's 11 now. Like, she's very, very wise. Very yeah, like, I think that's a testament to her upbringing.
Church.
But, you know,
preach.
But like, I did cry. I did get upset. I did get mad. I did wish I had the strength of 10 men to beat people up. I wish I had but what we do, we cry, we put our big girl panties on, and we keep it pushing.
Right.
That's all I could do.
But I think that's the right way to go. That's the only way to go. But as far as
you don't have no choice.
Yeah, but you know what? It's just like when it comes to being a strong, independent black woman, we don't have time to be vulnerable. You know,
you hit it on the head. Yeah. You hit it on, because that strong black woman thing is a curse.
It is.
It's a trap. Do you know why? We about to school you real quick.
Please school me.
Because
please.
A lot of the times when people think like strong black women, we don't need help. Because they're like, she got it. She's strong. She can take care of it. So you always are saving other people. You're never allowed to be feminine or vulnerable. You always have to do everything on your own and wear a cape, because people say she's strong, she has it, and then they don't want to help.
Right.
It is exhausting. I want help.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be feminine.
Yeah.
I want to be soft.
Right.
But a lot of the times, black women do these things because we have to. That's why I said, what do you do when you have no choice?
Right.
You got to keep going. And then being an entrepreneur, like, you know, on top of the fact that you're a woman, it's just like some people don't even look at you like a human being. You know, you're just parts.
You're a shero.
You're a
superwoman.
You're objectified, or you're strong and you got it. So goodbye. You know, and then it's also the thing like all of these stereotypes that I never really said, they don't really apply. Like if you assert yourself as a business owner, then it's just like, you fucking bitch, you know what I mean? Like, or you're loud or whatever, but it's really just me asserting who I am.
And having boundaries as well.
Having boundaries. Yeah. Exactly. Boundaries are important. To me, boundaries spell I'm trying to keep you in my life.
Right.
I'm trying to keep things okay. Like I'm trying to let you know how to treat me.
Right.
You know, and that applies in business too. Like I've experienced a lot of different people and things, but to circle back to your question, like you said, we don't have a choice. You got to keep going. And I would just believe in myself, so I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to let, like, one monkey don't stop the show.
True.
You know? And just do what you got to do, and you drink. Right?
Aside from the drinking, what else do you do to relax and unwind after having to deal with so much and do so much?
So I love to travel. Yeah, I'm an avid traveler. Like I've lived on 2 continents already, and I just love to travel. I feel like I'm a global citizen, like just to get away when I can.
Right.
Spend time with my daughter. Yeah, I mean, as Americans, we have like the passport to the world, and you'd be surprised how many people don't travel. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I've lived in Africa, I lived in Europe, I've been all over the place, and I just find so much joy, like experiencing other cultures and other people. So that's part of what I do, but you can't do that all the time, right? Spending time with my daughter, roller skating.
Yes, we talked about that earlier.
It's just like my little passion. It's like I love roller skating, even though I don't know how to do it that well. I really, really enjoy it. Pole dancing, like just for myself, it's a good workout. It's hard, but I like it. Working out.
Yes. Again,
it's for me. It's a lifestyle, like working out, hanging out with my friends. Just doing nothing sometimes.
Right.
You know, like sometimes people feel that if they're not doing anything, they're not being productive. But sometimes it's like you said, mental health. You just need a break. You just need to do nothing, clear your mind, and just be. So I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna do that. To take walks. Read.
I'm glad that you do have time for you.
I do. I try to make the time when I can. You know, I try to do that because it can get overwhelming. But I find that if I don't, I'm not good for anyone.
Right.
I'm not good for my business. I'm not good as a mother. I'm not good as a friend. I'm not good as a partner. I'm just not good. Right. So sometimes it's just like my friends know me so well. Like I'll just shut down, not shut down and like, you know, be like depressed or anything like that, but like turn my phone off and just light some candle, unwind, have a you know, read. I read, like The Alchemist is my favorite book. I'm reading it again. Okay. Do you know The Alchemist?
Yes.
It's one of my favorite books of all time, so I'm rereading it. Okay. Yeah, you should read it. It's a really, really good book. Yeah.
Good investment.
Yeah, it's a good investment. So,
Oh, that's good.
Crazy, man.
Well, I appreciate the time that you spent with us today. I'm so glad.
And let me just say,
did we touch
I think you touched on everything. Yeah, we did. That's why I wanted to check. We did. We did. Now it's time to eat.
Let me
right?
let me just say one thing though, real quick. I just want to.
What you got, King? What's up? What you got?
Nice
I just want to really salute you because you, as a black woman, as a businesswoman, just an overall human being, you killing it, and you seem like one of those people who you realize your potential, your worth. And people not gonna tell y'all, you know, this go for you too, Patty. They not gonna tell y'all that, yo, black women really run the world, but the world treats y'all like y'all don't.
For real,
y'all make all the trends.
Yeah.
Y'all swear when we was wearing pink shirts, we wouldn't have did it if y'all ain't approved it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to salute you from VOE Podcast, Black Women Podcast. We just want to salute you.
Thank you.
Keep pushing. 10 years from now, well, sooner than that, but definitely 10 years from now, we go. Come back to, you know, what you gonna tell yourself.
Maybe I'll fly y'all out to a little island. Honestly, I'm gonna speak that into
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Don't say that, because I got the passport. I'm letting you know, I got the passport.
Right, because we global citizens, right?
There it is.
Yeah. So thank you for having me. Like, I was really flattered and nervous, and I was super nervous and thrilled that you guys contacted me. So I'm really.
Contact you. I was nervous.
We both over here nervous, and we the same. The same. You Aries.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Because that phone conversation was such a vibe. I felt like I just hung up with my best friend. I'm like, guess what happened?
She definitely hit me like that. She's like, yo, you know that. I'm still running.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I was just like, you know, we have to support each other as a community. We say it a lot, but you know, words are very empty. So it's like action, and you know, this is good for me and talking to you guys, and talking about experiences. Hopefully, it helps some people, or you know, just brings exposure to the business and all of our businesses collectively, because you know we outside. We outside.
We definitely want to bring our followers here. Listen, we're gonna have the link in the bottom. You definitely need to check out Roc-N-Ramen. Follow them on IG,
Roc-N-Ramen Bronx, and we have TikTok.
Oh, and follow them on TikTok as well.
Yeah, Facebook coming soon. Like apparently, Facebook is still.
Yeah, we need you guys out there because we want you guys to follow them and see amazing dishes that they have.
Experience,
and it's always expanding.
It's a vibe.
You'll be VIP when you come here.
Most definitely. But
you're welcome.
I'm hungry right now, so I'm trying to see.
Big time hungry.
We gonna eat.
We're gonna eat. So
we gonna outlet y'all, man. Blessings and touch to all y'all. And please drink more.
And please drink more. Wow. Lovely opportunity to eat. And boy, we ate. Thank you, Corey, for filling up our bellies. Like, we couldn't walk leaving the restaurant. So if you're not watching this on YouTube or Spotify, you're doing yourself a disservice. So definitely tune in and watch what we ate. So this is a rundown of what we ate. So we had the chicken and dumplings, which was amazing. Fried dumplings. It was great, juicy, crispy. We had the karagi, which is Japanese fried chicken with kale and lemon wedges. We had the oxtail buns right there, sweet plantains right in the middle. Man, it was good. Jerk chicken and pineapple buns. That was amazing. Loved it. We also had the mega curried oxtail ramen. I had that. The way that broth tastes, the tenderness of the oxtail, amazing. 10 out of 10. The shrimp scampi ramen, amazing. I can't say how much I love this restaurant. This is gonna be my go-to restaurant from now on. Like, ladies and gentlemen, go to Roc-N-Ramen in the Bronx. Tell them that Black Ramen sent you. Again, I want to thank Corey for giving us the opportunity to come and record and vibe with her. Like, the drinks were amazing, the food was the vibe, the ambiance. It's great. So and it's anime themed too as well. So if you're a weeb, you a nerd, you a black otaku, check it out. You won't be disappointed. And don't forget to tell them that, Chatty Patty sent you. And I'm out.